Hey you guys, Mr. Waltz. I'm going to show you how to do this Fusion Multiview drawing assignment. So down here we have this block drawing.pdf, and I'm going to open that up so we can look at it. So this is what we're trying to make here is a multi-view drawing. And you can see we have this nice title block with the school logo and some other information on it. This drawing has dimensions on it. We're not going to put the dimensions on it quite yet. That'll be the next assignment. But what we want to do is create the front view, top view, side view, isometric, and we're going to put the center lines on here. So that's our goal for this project. Um, so first thing to do is open up Fusion, and you can find that, just go to your start menu and just type in Fusion FU, and it'll pop up. Um, you'll probably see it on your desktop and other places too. So we want to go in here and make ourselves a new project. So I'm going to go to my data panel, new project, and I'm going to call this Fusion, I can't spell, multi-view drawing. And I'm going to put demo on mine because it's my demo video for you guys, but you guys can just put Fusion multi-view drawing or whatever you want to call this project. And then hit enter. And then double click to make that the active project. So what we want to do now is make this shape. And there's actually enough information here in this picture right here to make the shape. So you can see it's basically a rectangular shape, and it has 3 steps on the right side, and then it has a hole in it. And this is a prismatic shape. It has the same shape all the way from the front to the back. So we can just make one sketch and then extrude it. Our extrude depth will be 0.75. And then you could see our width is 1.25 and our height is 0.75. So I'm just going to go in there and get this thing started. So I'm going to go in here and create a sketch on the XY or front plane. And I'm just going to draw a rectangle to start this. I'll start at the origin. And for my width, it's going to be 1.25. And then hit tab 0.75. Boom. Okay, so we'll start with a rectangle. And then what I want to do is make those little stair steps. You can see these little stair steps. This one is 0.25 wide. This one, you can't see the width. This one on top is 0.75. Over here on the side, you have 2 steps, 0.25, and then the top one, you can't see the width. And so what it is, this is a situation where because the height is 0.75 and the first step is 0.25 and the second step is 0.25, it means the third step has to be 0.25. And that's the way dimensioning works is if you can solve for a measurement, you don't have to do it. Anyways, what I'm going to do is just go ahead and kind of draw the shape roughly and then add the dimensions. I'm going to add all the dimensions that are in here. Um, so I'm going to go in with my line tool, and I'm going to go here on the top edge, and make sure you don't get the midpoint. You don't want that. I'm going to go over here a little bit to the right, and I'm just going to go down a little bit, and then to the right a little bit, and then down a little bit, and then to the right until I hit the edge. So I have these 3 stair steps here. And then I'm going to do the dimensions. The dimensions, you can see the 2 on top, 0.75 and 0.25. Let's do those first. So D for dimension. I'm going to click on this line here, this edge over here. That's going to be 0.75. Next one is going to be this edge here. I'm just going to click on the edge here, come up and do 0.25. You can see things start turning black, which is good. And then over here, I have 2.25 dimensions. So I'm going to do this one from the top edge, still in D for dimension, from this edge here to the bottom edge, 0.25. Oops, me not type good. And then this edge here, 0.25. Okay, you can see the whole sketch went black, which is good. I could trim off this area up here because I don't need it anymore, but I don't want to screw things up. I'm just going to leave it. So the sketch outline is getting going. Now what I need to do is do the hole. You can see this is a diameter 0.375 hole. It goes all the way through. And the center is 0.375 from the left edge. And the center is 0.3125 from the bottom. 0.375 is 3/8 of an inch. 0.3125 is 5/16 of an inch. We'll study fractional measurements later, but I just wanted you to know that. You're welcome. Let's draw the circle, 0.375. Circle, I'm going to go in here, click, move my mouse out, 0.375, enter. Okay, so I've got the right side circle. Now I just need to dimension its location. I need to know how far it is left to right, 0.375. So D for dimension, click the center, click the origin, and I'm going to put a dimension down here on the bottom, 0.375, enter. Then I'm going to dimension again the same 2 points, so D for dimension, click the center, click the origin. I'm going to go to the left, and this is going to be 0.3125. Boom. There we go. Okay, so the part's looking good. I have a black sketch. It looks like what it should look like. I'm going to finish the sketch here. I'm going to go to the home view, and I'm going to extrude, dude. So I click extrude. I want to click right in here in this area. That's what I want to extrude. And the extrude depth is going to be 0.75. So now I'm going to hit enter. So the part is ready. I want to go ahead and save it. I'm going to hit save. The name that we're going to use, I'm just going to call it the block. And that's ready to go. So we made the part. Now it's time to make the drawing. So the drawing here, we're done with that. Let's look at the instructions. So in here in these instructions, what it says is, in Fusion, create a new project, create a model of the object shown in the drawing. Done. We save the design as block. Done. Okay, now we got some work to do. It says download the wphsa.f2t. Okay, so you can see this file here. It says compressed archive. This is a file, a drawing template for Fusion that has the school logo and the title block and everything like that. And so what we got to do is get this into Fusion. So there's a couple steps here, so watch carefully. So I'm assuming you're doing this on a Windows computer. So you click on this wphsa.f2t. By the way, the A means size A paper, which is 8.5 by 11 regular letter paper. So it pops up, and you can see it's got this stuff here, and this doesn't help us. We want to download it, and there's no download control here. So the trick on this is you got to go over here to the three ice cream cone. I think I heard somebody call it ice cream cone, but it's three. It looks like 3 scoops of ice cream, 3 circles. Click on the ice cream cone, and it says open a new window. Okay. Now we're opening in a new window, and this one, for whatever reason, finally has the download. Google is weird sometimes. We're going to click download, and what it should do is download that file to your computer, and by default, Chrome will download things into your download folder. Down here on the bottom left, you can see that it's downloaded. You don't want to click on it. It's not going to open in Windows. It's only going to work in Fusion. So we've now downloaded this from Google Classroom to our computer, and we need to put it into Fusion. So reviewing the instructions here, I'm going to go back. It says, open your project in the data panel and upload wphsa.f2t. So that refers to Fusion. Let's go back to Fusion. Here is our data panel over here. I got it open. You can click the waffle if you don't. You're in your Fusion Multiview drawing project, and we're going to click the upload button. So I click upload, and it's going to say, hey, you can upload files. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. We are going to select files, and then it's going to come up with this open control. And what you want to do is go find your downloads folder. Should be over here on the left. You should see downloads, and you can click. And then we want to find our WPHSA file. Where is it? There it is for me, because I had downloaded it earlier, but you'll see it in here, wphsa.f2t, and I want to double click on that file. Okay, stuff's going to happen in here. You can see it says wphsa.f2t, and you're going to click upload. There's a little progress bar. What it's doing is taking that file from your computer, putting it into Fusion. It'll say complete. As soon as it says complete, you're ready. Hit close, and we can now do this. And you'll see here in your project, in your data panel, that you have the block that you just made, and you also have this WPHSA drawing template. Okay, so now we're ready to go. I'm going to go up here to the file tool and I'm going to say make a new drawing from design. Okay, so whatever design I have open, which is block V1, it's going to make a drawing from that. Boom. Okay, then it pops up. It says, okay, you want to create a drawing. What do you want to put in there? Full assembly. That just means everything in the drawing. That's good. Drawing, we're going to create new. And then template. Okay, template, it'll probably say from scratch over here. And what you're going to do is click on this and change it. Instead of from scratch, we're going to click browse. And then it'll show your project. And then we're going to open WPHSA. So I'll just double click on that. So it's going to create a new drawing using that template WPHSA. I'm going to click OK and wait for it. Stuff happens and boom, there it is. There is your drawing template. Nice thing is it's going to automatically put in the title, the project, the designer, the date. It's got the school name, the program name, PLTW engineering, and then our school logo on there, which is kind of cool. And then if you move your mouse around, you'll see that it's making a base view using your mouse. And the base view, we want this to be the front view. And you'll see over here, it says appearance, orientation, front. So it's doing a front view. There's a style tool, and by default, it should choose visible and hidden edges. So it'll show visible edges, those dark object lines, and then hidden edges, the dashed lines. That's what we want. And then we have scale. Scale is how big is it going to be relative to how big the real object is. So in our design, that object was 1.25 by 0.75 by 0.75. And so right now, if scale is 1:1, it would actually make it that big on the paper. So it'd be 0.75 tall and 1.25 inches wide. You can see that this doesn't really use up the paper very well. There'll be a lot of white space. We want to make things as big as possible so people can see clearly. So we want to go a little bigger. So over here on the scale tool, there's the ice cream cone, 3 dots on the right. You can click on that. We'll try the next biggest scale, which is 2:1. And you can see that's definitely bigger. There's still some white space on here. Let's see if we could go bigger. We could try 4:1. There's 4:1. Now the thing is, 4:1, we might be able to fit this view, but we also need a top view, side view, and an isometric. So it's going to be really tight if we do 4:1. So we'll go back and set it to 2:1. Okay. So there's 2:1 right there. What I'm going to do is click down here in the lower left corner, right about there, and then I'm just going to hit OK. So there it is. We've made our first view. That is our front view. We need some other views though. We need a top view, we need a right view, and we want an isometric view. The way we create those views is with the projected view tool, which is right up here on your toolbar. We're going to click projected view. And we go and so it says select parent view. So you're going to click on your main view, your front view. Click. Now, if you go up, it'll make a top view and you can left click. If you go to the right, it'll make a right view and you can left click. And if you go up to the right diagonally, it'll make an isometric view and you can left click. So we've got all our views. There's a little check mark here. You can click that, create and continue. And there are your views. You've got front, top, right, and isometric. You could see the hidden lines. You could see the object lines. Center lines are missing. Also, looking at this isometric, you can see that it's kind of see-through. It has hidden lines and object lines, but it's not shaded like we'd like. We always shade our isometrics. So if you move your mouse over this view and double click, it's going to bring up a little menu. Try it again, Waltz. There we go, a little menu, and it'll let us change the settings for this view. And the setting we want to change on this isometric view, we want to set it to shaded, which is this cube right over here. There's different styles you can do. We want just regular shaded right here. And you can see it makes a nice shaded isometric, and I'm going to hit close. So the views are now ready. The only thing that I need to do here is to add in the center lines. So there's some center line tools up here. There's center line and there's center mark and center mark pattern and edge extension. The two we're going to use right now are center line and center mark. For center line, that is for when you have the top view of the whole. or the side view, and you want to draw that center line going down the middle. So for example, here in the top view, we have these two hidden lines that represent the left and right sides of the whole, but we need a center line going down the middle. We're going to click on the center line tool, click on this left hidden line, click on this right hidden line, and boom, it automatically creates the center line. We're going to do the same thing over here on the right side view. Still have the center line tool active. Click on this bottom center line. The top center line is up here behind this object line. And if you click there, then you get your lovely center line. The last thing we want to do is put the center lines on the whole. To do that, you're going to use the center mark. So it's this tool, click that one. And then literally all you do is click on the circle. So you have now made a multi-view drawing. Later on, we'll learn how to dimension this, but that'll be a separate assignment. So at this point, what you want to do is save this. It says block drawing. That seems pretty good. I'm going to click save. And what we want to do is give Mr. Waltz a PDF file so that he can grade it. And this is the standard in engineering. When we make drawings, we create PDFs that we can then send to anybody in the world. So to do this, there's a tool up here, top right, and I'm assuming you're in the Windows version of Fusion. The cloud version, the Chromebook version, the drawing stuff doesn't quite work right. So you want to be doing this in class on the Windows machines. Anyways, up here you can see the PDF. I'm going to click on the PDF button, and it's going to ask me, hey, you want to export this PDF, all sheets, open PDF, line weights. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to leave it like this, all sheets. I'm going to click OK. And what it's going to do is pop up with a save thing. It's going to put it into downloads, which is fine. That's where I would put it if I was you. And it's got a name, Block Drawing V1. You can click save, and it will save that file into your downloads. How do you see that file? Well, what you want to do is go to your start menu and click Explorer, or sorry, excuse me, File Explorer. So I just type file, and that app will open up. File Explorer. File Explorer is just a little app on Windows that lets you see all your folders and all your files. I'm going to click on Downloads in here, and you can see it says Block Drawing V1. I'm going to double click it. It'll open it up. You can see what it looks like. Make sure it looks good. Great. Last thing to do is to turn it in. So go into Classroom. I don't have the same interface as you do, but you can click Add and then Upload from Computer. Go find that file, that PDF file in Downloads, and then click Turn In, and you're done with this assignment. Good luck, and we'll see you on the next assignment.